Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy VI walkthrough. I am joined once again by the ever so lovely Stigma.
Don't look at me, you bastards.
I wanna touch your face. All right. So what do? We just got the banquet done. Hopefully, I equipped the charm bangle. Who knows if I did or not? Be a good idea, though, right?
No.
No, you don't think so?
I think the charm bangle is actually a completely worthless item that does nothing.
Okay.
I think it's like the golden claw or whatever the hell it was in Dragon Warrior 3. It just increases your actual attack rate.
Okay.
Like, you take 2 steps and you're getting attacked.
That's
So
right.
hopefully
That was a weird item, wasn't it? Didn't it increase your encounters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So you think it literally does the opposite of what it says?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was something in the writing. Well, the Asian folk.
In the coding?
Yeah, in the coding there.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I feel like it does work.
I'm probably just making that all up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, you got a bunch of shit in here. Like a cure ring.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here. I don't. There's a hidden flame saber, right in the stove. Yep, there we go.
Cure ring stack.
Do they?
No.
Okay. No. Uh-oh. What was that?
That was weird.
Like
a Cheru.
froze. What actually was that? Cherub down? Mm-hmm. There's the cure. Back guard. Oh, it's freezing. What the hell?
Is that
If it does it
player?
again. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so there's the hidden elixir. I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Yeah, that was weird.
I don't know. It looked like you bogged down there too for a second.
Yeah. Huh. Very strange.
Very exciting.
Exciting stuff. Things are happening and none of it makes sense. Alright, so Imperial Base, right? That's the name of that place. So that was the third reward, I believe it was, for the banquet.
Which is really the only good reward. Other than, the charm bangle.
Yeah,
Bleh.
the fourth reward, Tintin, I don't know, that thing is, no, I'm not a fan of that item.
What is that? That's HP per step?
Yeah, so it's like basically every time you take a step, you regen a little bit of your health. But, I don't know. I guess when I think of my gear setups and stuff, in really any game, I tend to focus on, like, in-battle stuff, and the Tintin bar doesn't do anything for you in battle. Now, I will say, though, I am guilty of using such an item in... I believe it was my Suikoden 1 playthrough. But
Isn't it Suikoden?
I think that's the way Americans pronounce it, but apparently that's
You
not the
do
way.
realize you're from the Midwest.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I tried.
Apologize to the audience right now.
I am sorry for not speaking like a Midwestern 33-year-old male.
Yeah.
I think... Awesome. I'm pretty sure that's the way you're supposed to actually say it. Anyways.
You pull that hipster shit on me again, I will
I am
fucking throw you
walking
over
out.
this couch.
So the cool thing is there's a very similar thing in that game where every time you take a step it regens you, but it's for all of your characters at once. And in that game you're hauling 6 people around with you all the time. So
Yeah, that would be helpful.
yeah, quite a bit more helpful anyway than in this game. So unfortunately, here in 6, it only works for that one character, and I never found it to be that useful. You can try to justify it like when you're leveling or something, but if that's the case, I'm gonna be when I level, I'm gonna be leveling in the World of Ruin, and the experience egg. That's one of those items that's almost a must-have.
Must have?
Yeah, for leveling. So.
There's a little story here, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do we got going on here? We're teaming up with the Empire to, what is it? Try to convince the Espers not to destroy us.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, you're right. This is the first time that Locke and Celeste have seen each other since the Magtech Research Facility incident. And obviously, there's a little bit of friction here because, even for a little bit, Locke kind of doubted Celeste and maybe her motives. Yeah, so they're not speaking. They're not on speaking terms right now. Mom and Dad are having a fight.
That's true.
So I don't know. I actually thought this was a pretty cool scene. That.
It was a pretty badass scene. I always like the in scenes, when
Yeah.
you sleep and then you get like a little side
Yep,
storyline.
yep. Yeah, and I think that.
This game's got some pretty badass ones.
Yeah, I think it helps develop the characters a little more. If none of this stuff happened, I think they'd be a little more lame. I feel like it adds a little more, the little conflict, and not everything is always, sunshine and rainbows in relationships. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so just talk to Leo when you're ready to get your groove on here. We're gonna get what is this?
Another quest or another little Terra Leo thing, right?
Yeah, and I
then
always
Shadow.
It's a shame too, that those two never, unfortunately are not able to further their characters or their relationship. I feel like they kind of had a little bit of a thing going.
Who, Leo and Terra?
Yeah, Leo and Terra.
He should have deep dicked her when he had the chance.
Yeah, he did. He had the chance on the ship. I think. I don't. No, but they, it feels like, they have some. Yeah, because they have a scene here. Here we go.
They have a little moment together.
Speak of the devil.
Well, they were buddies. Well, no, they weren't buddies because she was just basically mind trapped or whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that. Wait, what's the first? Is this the first time they actually meet? Well, I shouldn't say it. Is this the first time they have like any interaction while we're playing? Like, who knows what happened? Pre-start of the game.
I think this is their first interaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I like this.
Because she was basically a zombie.
Yeah, more or less, right? With the slave crown on, sure.
Yep. I need to get me one of them's.
Right. God, terrible.
I would use the shit out of that thing.
All right, so Leo is basically saying that he was just as bad as Kefka for not doing anything about the slave crown, essentially. And so obviously that's one of Terra's things is the whole, so being half human, half Esper, the conflict of whether or not she can love anyone or anyone can love her, all that. And I do like, so in the world of Ruin, if you've got a party of whoever, you can, and Terra, basically if Terra's not in your party, when you speak to Terra, she says something like, "Oh yes, Leo, now I understand what you were trying to say," or "I think I understand what you were trying to say." So I believe that's in reference to this scene.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much their only scene.
Yeah, very true, actually.
And then Shadow rolls in.
Being all
probably
badass.
one of his greatest scenes in here.
Yeah, that's right. He's got kind of a deep line here, which is, I think, uncharacteristic of him, right? He doesn't say much at all.
This is kind of when he actually they start to show that like he actually cares.
Yeah.
For the main characters.
Yeah, Terra for sure.
Which is such an odd combo. Those two.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, in honesty, he doesn't really interact on this level with really anyone else. Now that honestly.
Well, Locke when he comes out and pukes and he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
like, don't look at me.
Yeah, that's it. It's just Locke being sick. So what kind of a person would be if he was like, you know about Locke puking his guts out last night?
Well, doesn't Locke kind of insult him a little bit too? Oh, shadowed one or something like that. Oh, shrouded one.
Yeah. Like, what kind of a threat was that? Like, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. If that dude was on my boat and I was puking out the side, I don't think I would come.
I wouldn't either. I would not be talking shit. I mean, especially with the rumor floating about that he'd slit his mother's throat for a nickel, right?
And his badass like music.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, do you think he just has little speakers that plays that wherever he
I
goes?
think he's got like a little band that like
Yeah.
they're ninjas like him, and they just play in the background like behind trees and shit.
Again, one of the best Final Fantasy theme musics of all time.
They do such a good
Number
job.
one being,
Dude, they do
of
such a
course,
good job.
the frog in Chrono
Yeah,
Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Agreed.
But yeah, they do. They really do a good job.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, that helps make a game. If you're playing shitty music in an inappropriate spot, I mean, that can technically, it can very well ruin a scene. All right, so here at least Celeste makes the attempt to speak to Locke, and Locke kind of just gives her
Being all
the-
emo.
Yeah, gives her kind of the cold shoulder. And Tara, it looked like Tara wanted to say something, but
But she doesn't really have a place to say anything because she doesn't know what the hell she's even capable
it's
of.
true. She doesn't know shit.
If you want to look into it, a little, probably too much.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, she just has
What would
nothing.
you
Like, she
say?
has no experience in any of it.
Exactly.
Like, what can she say? Like,
Exactly. What could she possibly give for advice or in comment? All
there's
right.
actually a cutout scene in there I was reading where,
Yeah, that's right. You told me about this.
yeah, where Shadow and Leo, like, double team up on Terra.
God, that was not the one I was thinking of. Okay, so that is not the case.
That,
What
that
was the
case.
scene that you were actually talking to me about? Wasn't it the scene between Shadow and Strago?
Yes.
Yeah, and I had no
Where-
idea about this.
I guess when you meet up a Strago, like you go to, I think like the inn or like the bar or
Okay.
whatever the hell is.
So
in
was it
Asia.
supposed to be if the two of you are in the same party or something and you go to it?
Yes.
Okay.
And Strago basically goes up to her or goes up to Shadow and he's like, look, I don't know if you're the girl's father or not, but just let me see your face. And Shadow has his back towards the camera, and Shadow shows
Oh, he
Strago
does.
his face.
Okay.
And then he's like, okay, that's all. And Strago's like, that's all I wanted to know.
Huh, okay.
And then, yeah, it's just totally open.
Weird. Okay, yeah, I
But
don't know.
obviously, I think what happened was, he does his train robbery. He couldn't kill his buddy. He gets messed up somehow, and he goes to Themasia where he meets that chick.
Okay.
They have a kid, and then, they got the dog
Yep.
or whatever.
Yep. Okay.
And I think basically that he can't live with his guilt, and he's like, just look, you're better off without me.
Yep. I can see that.
I gotta go.
Okay.
and
So
then,
is some of this the scenes that are actually in the game still?
no.
Okay. Okay. That's a shame. I mean,
I'm sure you can look it up in the wiki,
yeah.
like the Final Fantasy wiki. Just go to Final Fantasy Wikia or whatever the hell it is, and type in Shadow's story. And
Okay. And it'll.
it's worth reading
Yeah.
because it answers a lot of the questions about him, like what
Okay,
the
but-
developers said about
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
like where they wanted.
Yeah, I
him
should
to-
do that
to
actually.
be.
I should do that. And the other thing is, I haven't watched his scenes lately that were the ones that you stay in the inn. To even remember much about him.
I checked those out last week when we were done
Oh, okay.
with the videos, just because I wanted to. I'm like, screw this, I gotta see this guy's shit again.
I should do that. Or at least do it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna make a video of all of those scenes or not yet.
You probably should. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
And well, I guess too, like it's Barum and what's Shadow's real name? Clyde.
Clyde. Yep.
So they're like, we're gonna become the greatest train robbers of all time, or whatever,
Okay.
whatever. They come up with like a team name,
Okay.
and it's Shadow.
Oh.
So I think Shadow uses the name Shadow as like
Okay.
an homage
Yeah. To the team.
to the team.
Or
Yeah.
or maybe to his friend.
Yeah, like, because, that's just what he decides to go by. But, like, the original Shadow was the team of
Yeah, the
those
two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen. In all honesty, I don't know if I've seen every single one of his scenes. There's probably some that I haven't ever even seen.
I think there's only 4.
Okay.
Maybe 5. But yeah, like, there's just not a lot.
That's cool though that they actually did some of it.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's just. I love everything about Shadow.
Yeah, he's a cool
got to be in your
character.
party or you're a douchebag.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
Like he doesn't contribute. Well, actually, he's got the highest. What was it? Magic defense?
Oh, I don't remember. Or Magic Evade, maybe?
Maybe it's Magic Evade. He's got like some skill that's just
That's really high. Okay.
yeah, like ridiculously.
Yeah, I don't. I remember. I mean, my big thing with him was I used him in the Coliseum quite a bit.
Coliseum.
Coliseum. So by the time I actually got there, he had learned barely any magic, just because it's actually very difficult to learn magic with him in the world of balance. So it kind of makes him a better candidate, I feel, for the Coliseum in the world of Ruin. And then on top of all that, Interceptor. Yes, you can swap Interceptor to your other characters if you want, but he starts with it, so absolutely no work needed to be done at all.
Did you ever look into if Realm will absorb? Or I'm sorry, if Interceptor will absorb any attack?
No,
on
the
land of effect?
only thing that I remember. No, I just for a quick reference. No, the only thing I know for sure is that if you let Shadow die, Interceptor will basically help out Realm instead.
In the party.
Yes.
Maybe that's what happened to me then.
Yep.
Because I very specifically remember seeing
We should
Interceptor.
look at this. Just
Yeah, we should check it out.
put the question to rest. I'm curious. Yeah, right. I could just go fire up my game and see if put them both in the same party.
But Interceptor is kind of a character too, in and of himself. Because like when I was doing like my research on Shadow and like watching the cutscenes and stuff, like the dog makes a choice. Like Shadow leaves town, he just dips on his old lady and the kid.
Okay.
Because he couldn't live with his guilt and couldn't handle it or whatever. And then he tells the dog, he's like, stay, guard the girl.
Okay.
And then he walks out of town, I think. And the dog like looks back at the girl, like at the house.
Okay.
And I think he looks back at Shadow, looks back at the girl, or something like that, and then like he ends up going with Shadow.
Okay. Yep.
So the dog kind of makes the choice, or like he's on the stance that Shadow probably
Needed him more. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is pretty badass.
All right. So we're here asking Strago anything that he knows about magic. Right? Was it magic or about espers? It's about espers, I think.
Esper's, yeah.
So
And he's all like, I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, boy.
What you talking about, Willis?
And here we are. Here's Realm.
Puppy.
I think fairly typical, energetic, young person who also paints, I guess.
What were the name of the twins in? Oh,
Palom and Porum or
yeah,
something like that.
Palom and Porum.
Yeah,
Final
I knew
Fantasy
what you were
II.
talking about. They were cool.
They were badass.
Yeah, didn't they have some crazy unite attack?
Don't they die?
At the very least, I think they get turned to stone, right?
I don't remember. God, we're gonna have to play that game, dude.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the next one. That'll be a good one.
Just item duplicate the shit out of everything.
Yeah, that had that in it, didn't it? All right, so obviously, Interceptor likes Realm. I don't get that, though. Why does she say here, boy? The Interceptor already followed her. Yeah, whatever. The dog usually doesn't like people, though. Okay, yeah, so Strago's trying to play it off like this. There's nothing special about this town, which obviously we know is not the case. Mm-hmm. There's the hints around town with the little girl asking her mom to use the cure spell on her, and then the mom plays it off as, "Oh, where's my cure tonic?" or some crap, and then the little boy casting the fire.
Fire, yeah.
Yep. I did forget to mention, actually here, being that we're going up here, there's a hidden safety ring here. Not right there. It's up farther. There we go.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
Yep. So the safety ring can only be used by Shadow or Realm. I believe Realm comes with one equipped on her right when she eventually she'll join us. So she comes with one equipped. You can stick this one on, and I think that's what I'm doing here in my inventory. Just showing you that he can equip it. The cool thing about that, protects against fatal magic attacks. So I think that, there was supposed to be a little link, maybe a little hidden link there between Shadow and Realm. So I mean, obviously you can read from the ring's description that departed mother's love protects from fatal magic attacks. One maybe neat thing, there's a third safety ring on Rexel, and that's the World of Ruin in Cyan's Dream. I don't know if that was supposed to be maybe possibly then the mother's ring as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I don't know if they were trying to, make that.
So there's a scene here, if I remember right, where don't they smell fire in the middle of the night? Is
Yes.
that it?
Yep,
And then they try to wake up Shadow.
Yep. Yeah, and
He's
he's
just
not,
like, "Eh."
Yeah, and then Interceptor goes to help Realm. Which technically, actually, Interceptor beats the party. And how do you like that? The one GP per night? So that's actually how you have to progress here. You have to spend the night here in the inn. One thing I wanted to add too before we get into it. At the weapon shop there, I did purchase a couple of ice rods, and I don't believe I ended up using those. The idea is, if you want to, you can use those ice rods on this upcoming boss, and it's kind of nice. But again, it's not needed. So there's two ways really to beat it. It's to kill it outright using damage, I guess, for lack of a better term. Yeah. So obviously Interceptor's gone here.
Why do you think he kind of shifted around? Was that like him having nightmares?
Yeah, I don't know. Or if maybe the noise of them came in, disturbed him. I'm not sure. Who knows? I mean, he is in Thaumasia. He's obviously just seen his kid.
Yeah.
Maybe it very well could be. Maybe he was thinking about, the stuff that went down and possibly, having a nightmare. Who knows? So anyway, so again, this boss can be defeated, in different ways. I go with with running him out of magic points. There's a couple of enemies in the game that'll die due to that. The Flame Eater's one of them. The Magimaster in Kefka, or the Fanatic's Tower, he'll die when he runs out of magic. Although he's got a ton though, so I don't recommend that strategy.
Oh, we already found the better way to beat that anyway.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's going to be a treat for everyone when we get to that cheesy ass part.
Yeah, again, I try not to get too much into it, but that's one of those things that I never knew about actually until this very playthrough. And I've been through it a ton of times. It is actually really cool the amount of different strategies and stuff that this game has.
It's almost unlimited.
Yeah, it really is. There's just so much to it, and there's a bunch of stuff that I've never done. I've read a lot of different strategies on different bosses and what you can and can't do, and it's really cool. Oh, and a lot of it will involve the rage command. So, Gao gets a lot of resistances and whatnot when it comes to his rages, and at first glance you're not going to catch that kind of stuff. That's something that it's not spelled out for you anywhere. But some of his are extremely powerful. All right, so here we've got the burning house. What did I save? When did I save? I must have saved. Yeah, after we got woke up, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think is a good place to save because this part, especially this, this style playthrough where you have very little health, and it can get a little bit tight here and there. I think it's always a good idea to save a lot. And now I one-shot this in this playthrough, but I think the Flame Eater killed me 6 times in my second playthrough.
Blaze.
Yep, Blaze got me. So
Blaze is a dick.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
You need some Aether.
Some Aether?
Remember that from Final Fantasy 1? Anti-fire. It was like Aether.
Oh yeah. God, that's crazy. I don't remember that.
Because I played the shit out of that game.
I kind of did too. Remember, I did the
Yeah,
whole
you did
not
the-
leveling thing until the class changes or something.
You did that while doing the 4-mage challenge.
That's right, the 4 white mages.
Yeah.
That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Well, yeah, once you get to, was it Holy? Whatever
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
that was ridiculous.
Game over.
Yeah, that spell's way too powerful. All right, so yeah, I would say put wall rings on everybody, and then what was it? Definitely have Siren equipped the Esper. I think that's actually an absolute must, and that's for when we actually get to the Flame Eater. He'll summon the little bomblet things, and you don't want those to explode. I think they actually use Exploder is the name of the skill, and what it'll do is it sacrifices them, and however much health they have, that's how much damage they'll do to your characters. And you absolutely can't have that happen because you actually will get experience from those, but when they kill themselves, it counts as kills. So you have to silence them all, which is obviously why we have Siren equipped.
Good old Siren.
Yeah, it's actually very
Somewhat, it doesn't have like a lot of places in the game where it is useful, but definitely.
Yeah, when it does, it kind of makes or breaks it. I mean,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I don't even know if this would be doable. Without that, I guess you'd have to just get lucky and have them not blow up on you. I guess it would just really it would really reduce your odds of survival by not having it. Here I just used Fader. That's okay. It's not gonna last forever, unfortunately. When we actually get to the boss fight, the good thing about it is it will reduce the damage that we take on the way, and hopefully we won't have to go into the menu and heal ourselves as much. I think that for the first at least couple of turns, the balloons won't use any spells or anything on you, so you'll be safe. I think I did put, the other thing was I think I put Golem on, it may have been Strago, for all I know. And unfortunately, I didn't end up summoning it for whatever reason. That would have been a good summon to use for the boss fight. Just because there is, you're going to have the Flame Eater itself, and then you're going to have the 4 little bomblets bashing you the entire time. And Golem would have been a very good Esper to use. Again, don't know why I didn't. It didn't really make much sense why I didn't, but I may have just forgot, I guess. As far as this burning house goes, though, where's the first split? It's coming up here. But at the first split, there's 2 doorways. You skip the one on the left, because if you try to enter the door on the left, I think flames just surround you. So you'll want to skip that and take the right path instead.
I hated this damn level.
Yeah, I don't like it either because I've done it now so many times. Mainly because the Flame Eater kept killing me. But I guess such is life. I guess the good thing is there's not, random encounters. So I guess that's maybe a plus.
There's no randoms in this?
No, there's no randoms. It's just these flames, and you can technically kind of avoid them. They're kind of like, opera house rats, I guess, except I don't know if I'd say easier or more difficult to avoid. I'm not sure. But,
I would say easier.
I mean, well, and the cool thing is you can run from them, so it doesn't matter if you run into them or not. Okay, so the first door, you take a right, and it leads you here. And then here's another split. We're going to go right again because there's a treasure chest. And I believe, is the first one a fire rod or an ice rod? Can't remember.
Ice?
Okay, you say ice, I'll say fire.
I think it's ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. Moment of truth.
Or is it pearl?
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Fire.
Damn it.
So then, okay, so that one's fire. We're gonna take the left door now, and then we'll take another right to get to the second chest, and that one's got to be the ice rod. So, if you're gonna use rods to kill the flame eater, I guess my biggest recommendation would be to morph Terra. Throw an earring on her. So what? Wall ring and then an earring on her, and then probably a wall ring and I guess what, a sneak ring, I think, on Locke, because I try to steal. Which, again, now, I don't know if I can really recommend that. It's just got another flame saber. And in all honesty, it's not.
You can buy them.
Yeah, and it's buyable later. So, I guess I'm not going to recommend it. That's what I did, but it's kind of like it really essentially is just a wasted turn for Locke. You could do something else with him instead.
You could just have him kick an ass.
Yeah, rasp or use another ice rod. So it depends on which route you're going to take to actually beat the flame eater. Rasp or osmos if you're trying to take away his MP, or just use ice rods, I guess, if you're going that route. The one other thing, so normally when you go to use an ice rod, it will target all the enemies, but all you have to do is use the right or left button, and it'll swap targets, and then it'll change to single target. So that's kind of a useful little tidbit of information, I guess. And so here you go. For whatever reason, I don't use Golem. So again, I don't know, kind of weird. I feel like that's what I should have done. Guess I was a little indecisive on what I wanted to do there. Alright, so Siren lands, and now these balloons, or whatever these things, I think they're balloons, right? They won't blow up on you. Which again is an absolute must. Unfortunately, if I was invised here, that wouldn't have done me any good. Which looks like I use. Oh, there's a flame saber. There you go. So yeah, so I did steal. Now I don't know if this fader is worth it at all, because the flame eater does just cast a ton of spells. So I don't know if I would recommend that choice.
You would have been better off with...
look at this. This is what kills everyone except Strago. Lives with 13 health.
Good old Strago.
I still can't believe I pulled this off. And then of all things to use, I used a Phoenix down instead of a potion on himself. So, again, I don't know if that was just really lucky. I think it was just really lucky. And then obviously with the wall rings, I'm protected from any spells. So I guess I'd say, I'm going to guess that the wall rings are an absolute must. I don't know how you'd be able to take this guy down without. Again, unless you're just super lucky. Ting, ting, ting.
This is a pretty scary zone to go in.
Flare up.
Just in general.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of all the fire messes with your head, and at least with me, because I hate fire levels.
That's right, I forgot about that.
I fucking hate them.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
It's because you guys can't see this off camera, but my face is pretty much burnt off.
No, it's not. I should start calling you Scarecrow.
You should start calling me Burnt Face Man.
No, God, those skits are hilarious.
Yes,
I
I
was
are.
thinking about that. You a criminal? A criminal?
Take that crime, you shit.
All right, so I think I missed this, but it puts reflect on itself. So you're gonna want to use dispel if you've got that to take that off. If you're trying to rasp him, because no, I end up reflecting a rasp off of him, and that was just a waste.
What a rasp hole.
I rasped. It looks like she rasped herself. Yep. Rasped herself. Genius.
I think all girls secretly want to be rasped. Wait, what were we talking
We're
about?
talking about the flame eater and rasp.
They all got it coming.
Oh, and one other thing. So it looks like when Terra's morphed, she loses her reflect status. I forgot about that. So I morphed her, and then he casted flame or fire 2 on her, and then it just wiped her out. And here's the big one, flame 3. Boom! Strago gets 1 shot. Did you catch that? Strago's dead.
That's a very familiar position to anyone who's actually ever played Strago. It's just constantly
Just always on his back. Man.
just worthless. Worthless shit character.
I think I learned all of his lores on this playthrough.
I always thought too, like that he was gonna be a cool character. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be an
he
awesome
really
character, and then
isn't.
nope.
He really isn't. He never really.
I'm pretty sure you res this guy like 50 times too. Like he just
You know the good thing
he's just
is.
cannon fodder.
No, the good thing is, yeah, that's his use. That's how he's useful.
Yeah,
Is that he just takes hits for the team.
res up and then kill.
Yep, and get wiped out. So the good thing is now, okay, so when he casts Reflect on himself, he'll bounce his own spells back, or he'll bounce the spells off of himself and then back on your characters. So once you dispel him and get rid of that Reflect, he won't do that anymore, and he'll never recast Reflect. So, obviously when he's bouncing the spells off of himself, your Reflect rings aren't doing any good. So again, it's good to get rid of that, and then you don't have to deal with that anymore.
Could you bounce a rasp off of yourself?
Yeah, in theory, yes.
Would it take more mana back?
No, it shouldn't. So the whole reflecting in this. So now look at this. It looks like she has protection still. She's glowing blue. Oh, so maybe he reflected a fire 2 off of himself, and that's what killed Terra. Maybe it wasn't the fact that she morphed; it got rid of the wall effect.
Yeah, it was
Reflect. Yeah, I think.
just a mirror
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, I think that
Or a
was
wall.
just the. Yeah, I think that was just the reflect. So when you reflect, it doesn't double damage. So no, when you bounce rasps off yourself, it shouldn't do double. And the other thing is, if you were to bounce like a rasp off of yourself, it wouldn't necessarily rasp him. You might be hitting the other little ones, because it randomly picks a target from the enemies to bounce to.
Good point.
Yeah, if he was alone, then by all means, yeah, it would.
Do you think Strago can make it clap?
I don't know. He's that cape's kind of hiding his posterior, so I'm just gonna say I don't know. I doubt it. I always kind of see him as like a fragile little guy. When I think of a good wizard, I don't typically think of
Him being
someone that could make it clap. So, I mean, what do I know? Maybe.
Here comes Shadow, all badass.
Yeah, he kind of saves the day here, doesn't he? Now, I know we talked about this last time, but it doesn't make sense to me that he uses a smoke bomb. I feel like he should have used a warp stone. Right? So he kills the flames. That's cool. But then he's like, smoke bomb, and then he disappears. And everybody goes with him. So I feel like a warp stone would take him outside, whereas a smoke bomb would just remove him from battle.
What happens if you don't have any smoke bombs in your inventory?
I don't think anything.
I think the game ends. You just burn alive in there.
Burn to death. Maybe he must have bought one right before he came in, because I don't think it takes one out of your inventory.
The house is burning. He makes a quick trip to the general store in town. Give me a smoke bomb, a couple Pall Malls, or a couple, what are they, Swisher Sweets for rolling blunts. Give me some of those lottery tickets.
Give me two lottery tickets.
and a pack of cools.
You guys have any malt liquor?
Can I get a brown bag with that, please?
Oh god. Okay, so
Shadow's pretty thug.
thug
It's
life.
thug life in
Yep.
it.
He's at the bar right now, wishing they had some malt liquor. All right, so Strago's telling about his ancestors being mage warriors.
Which, now that I think about it, is just the ramblings of an old man.
Yeah.
He's like Abe Simpson.
Yeah.
He just
okay.
rambles. Nobody cares. Half the shit he says isn't even true anyway.
Well, and like, who cares? So okay, so they were I don't even remember what he's talking about here. Okay, so they're mage warriors. Were they descendants of Espers? Or what are they descendants of? How did they come about their magical powers?
Did I ever say?
Okay.
Unless it was like the original tribe of magic users before the statues. Because didn't humans make the statues?
Ooh, I don't remember. Did they? I thought the statues just were. No.
The statues were originally.
were actually the warring triad, and they turned themselves to stone. So they were
I thought the
beings.
statues were people.
No, they were magical beings. Maybe espers. Maybe they were the first espers or something. I don't know. No, because didn't the warring triad make espers?
Can people like really turn themselves into statues?
I don't know. I
Because I've seen some pretty good statues,
You
and
can-
it's like
you
maybe
can-
those really are people,
Well,
or once
can't
were.
you cast petrify on yourself?
I'm talking in real life.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about.
You can
So
cast
we're making
petrify.
that jump.
I want to make.
No, I can't cast petrify on myself.
If anyone out there can actually cast petrify in real life,
Some-
please comment below.
Sometimes when I see a pretty lady, certain parts of me turn as hard as stone.
Mine just kind of get flaccid, and then I feel sad.
Yeah, and cry a little.
Well, I'm always crying.
Yeah, there's nothing new there.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna almost make eye contact. That didn't happen.
Oh, awesome. All right, so next stop, I guess, Esper Cave thing? I don't know what you actually call this place.
I think it's the Crescent Cave.
Crescent Cave? I can
No.
No. Yeah, I
made
don't.
that
I don't
up.
know what it actually is. I want to say it's just like the Esper Cave. 'Cause
I'm
it's
gonna
not
go
like
with
the-
what's the oh yeah, the Esper Inglewood.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like what up? Yep.
Oh my God! This video is finally ending. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do.
I'm falling asleep over
I
here.
know, me too. God, this one was long. I forgot this one was like the epic video, 45 minutes.
We can't ever make one of these again. I think we should break them down into 5-minute increments.
Just get 'em
And then
done.
every other one is just screaming for commentary. Just 5 minutes straight of screaming.
I don't know if the viewers would agree, but
I'm pretty sure I speak for the viewers when I say more screaming.
all right, guys, thanks for watching.
One love.